welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on something I think touches so many of us, understanding and navigating burnout. If you've ever felt that deep exhaustion, the kind sleep just doesn't fix, or felt completely overwhelmed, this one's for you.
It really is such a relevant topic today. It
Yeah.
feels like these feelings of just being constantly depleted, they've almost become normalized, haven't they?
We really have.
But what's really crucial to grasp, I think, right from the start is that burnout isn't just being super tired. It's deeper than that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the material we looked at defines it as this state of, well, chronic stress that hasn't been managed well.
Right. Unmanaged stress.
And it hits more than just your energy levels, right?
Yeah.
It impacts how you think, your physical health, your overall mood. The World Health Organization even has a definition specifically tied to chronic workplace stress that hasn't been handled successfully.
And that workplace angle is definitely important, but we also need to remember burnout doesn't just, stick to the office. The demands of parenting, maybe caring for family members, or even just the constant information overload from being online all the time, that can all feed into it.
Yeah.
The real core things that stand out are that profound exhaustion, and it's often coupled with this sense of emotional detachment.
Detachment. How so?
Like almost like you're watching your own life happen from a distance, not really in it.
Okay, I see. So for this deep dive, our goal is pretty straightforward, really. We want to give you a clear picture of what burnout actually is, help you spot those warning signs early, and most importantly, lay out some actual steps you can take to recover.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yeah, equipping people with tools to navigate these challenges effectively. That's the aim.
Exactly. So let's maybe shift to those warning signs now.
Let's do it, because often people are just pushing through, right?
Yeah.
They think, oh, it's just a busy week, or I just need more sleep. And it's often not until the physical symptoms really kick in hard, yet they realize, wait, maybe this is actually burnout.
That tracks. So the info we gathered flags some really specific things. First up, there's that persistent fatigue, the kind that just sticks around no matter how much you rest.
Yeah, it's like deep in your bones, and then there's the brain fog.
Ah, yes. That feeling of difficulty concentrating, like your thoughts are moving through treacle or something.
Exactly. Sluggish thinking. And we also see a drift towards cynicism or detachment.
Cynicism. Like
Yeah?
just feeling negative about everything.
Kind of, yeah. Or emotionally pulling back from people or situations you normally care about. It's like a protective mechanism almost.
Okay. And low motivation, that's another big one, right?
Huge. Where things that used to maybe excite you or engage, you just feel like climbing a mountain.
Yeah, totally overwhelming. And the physical stuff can be really telling too.
Oh, definitely. Things like recurring headaches, digestive issues that flare up.
Right. Seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah. And insomnia is massive too. Being exhausted but just unable to sleep properly. It's so frustrating. And then there's the emotional side, which is so critical. The sources talk about increased emotional reactivity,
Meaning.
like maybe snapping at people more easily than usual,
Yeah.
or finding yourself crying over small things. Or sometimes it's the opposite, what some call the shutdown zone.
Shutdown zone.
Yeah, like feeling emotionally numb or just flat. It's like your system's overloaded and just hits the brakes. It's interesting how differently it can show up for different people.
It really is. So just as we're talking through these, maybe take a second. Check in with yourself. Are any of these feeling familiar right now? Because just noticing, recognizing these signs, that's a really, really important first step.
Absolutely. And once we do recognize that, okay, maybe this is burnout happening, the really crucial next thing to get is that recovery is possible.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
not like a permanent state you're stuck in. There are absolutely ways to heal and find that balance again.
Exactly. And something the sources really hammer home is that rest.
Yeah.
It isn't a luxury. It's not a reward you get after finishing everything else. It's a requirement, a necessity for getting better.
And not just sleep, right? It's about consciously building in different kinds of rest.
Like what?
Well, mental rest, emotional rest, even social rest sometimes.
Okay, explain mental rest.
That idea of creating white space in your day.
White space.
Yeah, like deliberately blocking out time with nothing scheduled, no meetings, no phone calls, maybe not even checking emails, just letting your brain quiet down.
Huh. That sounds hard, but necessary.
It can be, but it's worth thinking about how you might weave even small pockets of that into your week.
And for the mental and emotional side of things, therapy comes up a lot.
It does. Having that space, to unpack the stress, understand its roots, and develop better coping strategies, it can be transformative for recovery.
Yeah, I can see that.
And alongside that, actively building your life around healthier boundaries. That's just huge.
Boundaries, like saying no.
Exactly. Learning to say no to things that just drain you. Making a real effort to log off, disconnect from work or online demands. Reclaiming your time for things that actually nourish you.
Reclaiming time. I like that framing. Okay, what about the physical side?
Well, the material really highlights nourishing your body properly. Pretty basic, but crucial.
So like focusing on whole foods, less processed stuff, staying hydrated.
Precisely. Giving your body the fuel it needs to heal.
Makes sense. And movement, exercise.
Yeah, but the emphasis is on being gentle, kind to yourself.
Not pushing it.
Right. Think like walking, stretching, maybe some gentle yoga. Frame it as nourishment for your body, releasing tension, not another chore or punishment.
Nourishment, not punishment. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's tackle a question now that a lot of people listening might be wondering about this.
Okay.
We got a great question from Chelsea in Austin. She asks, I suspect I'm burnt out, but taking a vacation just isn't possible for me right now. How can I begin to recover while still working?
Ah, Chelsea, that is such a real and frankly common situation. Life doesn't always pause for us, does it?
No kidding.
And the advice from the sources here really centers on this idea of micro-recovery.
Micro-recovery, like tiny rests.
Sort of, yeah. Small, doable things you can weave into your existing day, even a busy workday. The idea is that these small, consistent breaks add up. They can actually lower your overall stress load over time.
Okay, give us some examples. What kind of things?
Well, like making a point to take actual 10-minute breaks where you fully step away from your screens.
Just away from the computer, the phone?
Yeah. Seems tiny, right?
No.
But giving your eyes and brain a real break from that constant digital input can genuinely make a difference.
Okay, what else?
Stepping outside, maybe? Even for just a couple of minutes. Just stand there, feel the air, focus on taking a few deep breaths.
Grounding yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a quick way to just interrupt that stress cycle right in the moment.
I like that. Easy to do.
Another really practical one, set a no work talk rule for a certain time each day, maybe dinner time.
Oh, that's a good boundary.
Yeah. It creates this protected space in your day for connection, relaxation, whatever, without work stuff constantly creeping in.
Makes sense. Anything else on micro recovery?
And, well, it sounds basic, but prioritizing sleep. Really trying to get to bed on time consistently.
Sleep always comes up, doesn't it?
Because it's fundamental. The sources just keep highlighting it for physical and mental restoration. So the big takeaway for Chelsea and anyone in that boat is that recovery doesn't always mean needing a huge escape.
Right.
It often starts with these small, consistent shifts, weaving moments of calm, of restoration back into the fabric of your daily life.
Small, consistent shifts.
Ah.
Okay. So as we kind of start to wrap this up, what's the main thing to remember?
I think it's this. Feeling burnt out doesn't mean you're broken or weak.
It's important.
Yeah. As some of the material put it really nicely, it often just means you've been strong, been operating under high demand for way too long without enough support or recovery time.
You've been strong for too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
And healing. It's a process, right? It takes becoming aware of the signals your body and mind are sending.
Paying attention.
Making a conscious choice to prioritize your well-being. And maybe the hardest part sometimes. Being patient and compassionate with yourself through it all.
Self-compassion. Crucial. And maybe the most vital message we found is this. You don't have to earn rest.
Say that again.
You don't earn rest. You deserve it. Yeah. Period. Just because you're human.
Just because you're human. Absolutely.
So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about this week.
Yeah.
What's one small, realistic boundary you could maybe implement? Just one thing to start reclaiming a little bit of your time, your energy.
Could be tiny.
Totally. Like turning off work notifications on your phone after 7 p.m. Or saying no to one optional thing you really don't have the energy for.
Every little step helps build momentum.
Exactly. Every small step makes a difference.